All right, here you go, you guys. Welcome to our Discover Essential Oils and More from A to Z. Tonight's class is on hormones and detox. As you can see from the screen, we have a couple of tips and reminders that this class is being recorded. So if you want to go ahead and mute yourself, um, then we can have a clear recording for those that are joining us. Also, if you'll go ahead and put in the chat where you're joining us from. It's always so much fun to see where everybody's joining from across the United States. We have people in every time zone. And so we're super appreciative for you guys showing up here. And we love to see those things. So if you want to go ahead and add that into the chat. The next thing is I want to remind you guys that we have classes every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Our Monday night workshop is a really exciting one that you can come to where you can learn all kinds of things about doTERRA and why more and more people are choosing doTERRA because of how we are set apart from everything else in the market. Then on Tuesdays is Discover doTERRA. So we're going to teach you guys and do deeper dives into different products and the ways that we can use them throughout our household and around the house with our kids, with, when we're traveling and all the other things. And then if you are interested in earning a free gift, when you attend 8 of our Zoom classes live, you are able to text in the word class to 534-429-5392. And once you've done that for all 8 separate classes, then we gift you one of our Good Vibes recipe books, which is filled with nearly 300 recipes from our top people and our top leaders. So that's always something that's really exciting for you. And so we would love for you to be able to, earn that for free. Okay, here is a list of the 8 different class topics that we have in the order. Like it's showing right here with the little red arrow, we are on class number 4, Women, Hormones, Detox, and Cleanse. And as you'll see when we go through this class, there's a lot of information. So what you'll want to do is go ahead and have a piece of paper, a notebook, where you can watch, where you can ask questions, where you can write down notes, things that you might hear that you want to add to your daily routine. The other thing I want you to keep in mind is when you're listening, you may hear something that you're going, gosh, my friend could really use that. So write that down. You can also put your questions in the chat. We have people here who are highly qualified to be able to answer those questions for you. So as we get going, we're going to have that available. The other thing that I want to remind you is if for some reason you love what you are hearing at tonight's class or any of our other Monday or Tuesday night classes, we have those available in a link which we can share with you or that we can get to you where you can share with somebody else so you can watch the replay. All you need to do is reach out to the person who invited you to our class. Now, tonight, you guys, this is our informed wellness grid. So on the right-hand side, you'll see that, in our classes, we talk a lot about nutrition and being able to have the proper resources and the proper things to get that foundational health started. We also target and talk about movement and metabolism and the importance of being able to give your body what it needs so that it can move better and you can have a better life longer and increase your health span. Tonight, you can see where that little arrow is. We're going to be talking about reducing toxic exposure and supporting the detoxification system. So one of the things is being able to identify what are toxins, what are those harmful chemicals, and what is the result of being exposed to them. So as you can see in this picture, and you guys, as you see some of these, you might want to take screenshots so that you'll be able to have this available to look at and refer to whenever you need to. So 84,000 of our household items have chemicals that are in them that have toxic results in harmful ways that they cause harm to our body. This was last updated in 1976. So we know that with all of the things that are out in the market now, there was a time when I felt like the better I could have my sheets smell or my carpet, when people walked into my house, I wanted them to be just like, with that big old smell. And what I didn't understand is that by using those highly scented dryer sheets or to find laundry detergent, I would shop and the longer it would last, the more I would want to use it. And I would, add all the things. But I also, from that, suffered from really bad head tension on a regular basis, my allergies, and like my face would be swelling. I'd have all these different side effects that were things that were debilitating to me. And I had no idea that those were some of the things that were causing the stressors on my body. So toxic chemicals that are in your body, and I want to just bring up plastics real quick. I don't know how many of you guys store your food in plastics or may purchase like to-go type food. We become a society that uses a ton of plastics. And every time you reheat something in plastic or it's stored in plastic, if it gets heated up, those gases and things are going back into the food, which is then making them so they are harmful for our bodies. Now, BPA is found in 9 out of 10 Americans. There are all kinds of phthalates and things that are found in pregnant women. And the really shocking thing here on this screen is 232 toxic chemicals have been found in the umbilical cord blood from US newborns. So what's happening? What are those side effects? Well, people are experiencing fertility problems. People are having respiratory or breathing issues. And then we are also having more and more people that are having issues with learning how to study or retain information, or our attention span has really changed a lot over the years. And I think that our food and what we're being exposed to in our household has something to do with it. Now, what are toxins? So you guys, toxins are chemicals and things that are causing harm to our body. Now, there are over 80,000 chemicals that are in these products that are on the market for us every day. Now, some of them might be simple things that you may not be aware of. I asked my husband tonight, I'm like, okay, so what would you say, what would you call these things as we're putting them all together? It's like air fresheners, scented candles, the makeup, the scented lotions, the body sprays, household cleaners. And he said, they're a silent killer. And it really is true because they're causing harm to our body. They're blocking our endocrine system. They're blocking our receptor sites so that our bodies are not able to function properly. Now, I want to just kind of give you an analogy that you might be able to relate to real quick, and it is your car. So whether you have a race car, a high performance speed car, or a minivan, it doesn't really matter. But there are some things that we need to do to get that car to perform to its best level. And those things are, you can't just keep adding oil to the engine and have it to perform to what you want it to. So it's necessary to go in and not only to clean out the oil filter, but you change the spark plugs and you do all kinds of different things to maintain your car so that it will be more efficient, more effective, and run at its best level. Well, our bodies are exactly the same way. So as we're talking about some of these things, I want you to refer back to an oil change. And it's like, when is the last time you did a real good oil change or a cleanse in your body to get rid of all of the things that might be building up so that you would be able to, be more productive, more effective, have mind clarity. So some of these chemicals and harsh toxins that when we are exposed to them can cause some of the things that are listed out on the right hand side. Now, I want you guys in the chat to go ahead and tell us if you experience any of the things that are listed out. Maybe it's brain fog, or maybe you get super anxious. Maybe you have a child, or maybe you're a teacher and you have students that are really rambunctious, and no matter what you do, they can't focus. Maybe you have experienced a lack of energy, like getting up first thing in the morning and going, oh my gosh, I'm still so tired, even though you've had a full night's sleep. And so it also, you guys, some of these chemicals can cause us to have, breathing issues. How many of you guys know somebody who has respiratory stuff or gets winded easily or has that wheezing, or maybe people who have had prolonged illness that they just can't seem to get better? Well, I want you to just go ahead and take a look at some of the things that are throughout your house and what you can start over time eliminating. Or, I mean, one of the things that I did when I first got exposed to doTERRA and the lifestyle was I went through my underneath my kitchen sink, and it's like, what are some of the things that I can get rid of or replace with things that I can make for pennies to the dollar, right? I started making my own laundry detergent. I use wool balls, and I sent them for my, instead of dryer sheets. We make all of our household cleaners, everything from the toilet to the counter, to the floors. Everything gets cleaned with things that are non-toxic, that are made from our doTERRA products. And I love it. It's not only safe, it's very, very effective. It smells good. One of the things that when I first, I have a gal who comes and cleans my house, and she used to always complain about having sores on her hands, or her skin was cracking a lot, or it was really itchy. And so when we got her switched over to our household products that we make, all those things have gone away. Some headache issues have stopped. And so there's all kinds of really great things that we can start with, just one thing at a time, start to eliminate and just start making better choices. So one of the things I want to introduce you to is doTERRA has a system called Cleanse and Restore. Now, pictured is this system. You can buy it as a kit. Anytime you purchase something from doTERRA as a whole or as a group, you're going to save below the wholesale price. So I love being able to get it, but you may say, well, I already have Lifelong Vitality and I have Terrazyme, but I don't have any Zendocrine. Well, if you have some of the products, but not all of them, then of course you can add those products in to get exactly what you need. Now we're going to break down this kit, and I'm going to explain why each one of them is so important. So doTERRA was very mindful in what exactly do we need to be able to have that internal oil change and at a deeper level, so that it clears our receptor sites and it cleans out all that gunk in our cells, so that we can then perform, and what we put into our bodies is better received. So all right, let's get started here. All right, so the first one is our foundational nutrition. Not only does the Lifelong Vitality have amazing products inside, but it also has, it's high in antioxidants, which helps us to fight off free radicals. So some of the things that go into our cells and those receptor sites that I was talking about, the essential oils that are in our Xi Omega are really great at detoxing and cleansing and helping our brain to be able to function better. And it helps to support a healthy metabolism on a cellular level, which increases our energy too. Our Lifelong Vitality, you guys, we do an entire class on this product because it is the foundation to good health. This is something that is doTERRA's #1 selling product. They do a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you get the product and you're going, didn't really work, I noticed nothing, then you can send it back or contact them and they will give you your money back, which, so to me, it's a win-win. There is a no loss associated when you get to try this amazing product. When we first got started in our household, I was a mess. I was that person who needed to completely cleanse, get detoxed, and do all the different things because my body was in this fight or flight mode. I had just, as you look at the chemicals and the different things that you're exposed to, whether it's, makeup, and you start filling these things into, say, a water glass. I want you to imagine, okay, so I wear makeup, that goes in there. I was using, really highly scented shampoo and conditioner, that goes into the cup. I was using all kinds of chemicals and things to clean my house, so that goes into the cup. And as this cup is filled, what happens is our bodies become highly stressed and they become really reactive to the things that we're exposed to. So it's really important, you guys, to get that thing and clean out that cup so that our bodies can not come into a fight or flight area. Now, when we're starting with good nutrition, then the next step is to start getting in there and cleansing and getting rid of some of the stuff. So when I first started doing doTERRA and I found this cleanse, I was so excited, but I was also nervous because most cleanses that I had been exposed to were, you got to stay home, you got to be near your toilet, you don't want to go anywhere. Most of the time you don't feel very good. doTERRA has created and designed their cleanse to be extremely gentle. Now, I did it once, and I'm going, yeah, that was pretty easy, but I was dealing with those debilitating allergies and things. So I knew that I needed to do more than one cleanse. My husband was also suffering from gout and from having broken his ankles and had arthritis set in. So he was to the point where he was barely able to walk. So together we found the cleanse and we thought, okay, let's do this. And we did one round of the cleanse. So you'll see on the first through 10 days, it lists out the products to take. And then on day 11 through 20, you add in the GX Assist. And then after that, those 10 days, then you stop the GX Assist and you continue with the Lifelong Vitality, the Zendocrine Complex, the Terrazyme, the Lemon, but then you add in our PB Restore, which is everything about gut biome and good flora and making sure that your body, your gut is getting the support that it needs, and then DDR Prime. Now, DDR Prime is a blend of essential oils that helps with to cellular complex. So it helps us to get rid of all of the things in our body that no longer serve us in apoptosis, and it helps our body be able to absorb and have nutrients into our cells on a whole nother level. Okay, so this is the cleanse. So we did this cleanse as shown, and then what we did is we took a 5-day break, and then we did it again. Because we were dealing with chronic issues, it was important for us to be able to do it and then get a little deeper. And each time we started and stopped the cleanse, we found that it got a little deeper into our gut. Our effects from it were a little bit different. But when we were done, you guys, it was one of the most amazing things. So my seasonal allergies have been almost completely eliminated. My husband is not using anything for over the counter. As a matter of fact, it's been really amazing. He ended up doing 3 rounds of it in a row, and then I did the 2 rounds, and I waited for about a month, and then I did it again. Most people, it's recommended to do this type of a cleanse every quarter. Depending on your health and what you want to do, it's definitely something that will help you feel better, have more energy, and get those cells all cleaned out. Okay, now we're going to dive a little bit deeper into some of the products and how to use them and what the difference is. So you'll see here in this picture, Zendocrine. Zendocrine is one of my all-time favorite blends because it helps with your endocrine system. It helps to cleanse all of your filter organs and really helps to make you feel good. So if you've been exposed or maybe you've been, and this is everything from sugar overload to maybe going out and having a few cocktails or drinking a lot of, eating a lot of sugar or something, all of those types of activities, or being exposed to something, maybe you went and had your hair dyed and your fingernails done and you've got all these different chemicals and you're not feeling very good. So this would be a great time to really up your Zendocrine products. Now, the one on the right-hand side, you'll see the little capsules off to the side. They are a nutrients. So it's more of a herbal and remedy that helps to support and give the nutrients back into our filter organs. So when I say filter organs, we're talking liver, kidney, lung, skin, heart. And then, so the difference between this one and the ones that are on the left-hand side and the bottom is this is a oil that helps to detox and cleanse our organs naturally. It helps to purify our body systems, and it is actually a liquid. So you can get the liquid formula in the 15 ml bottle, which has 250 drops, or you can get, I think there's 2 or 3 drops of the oil in each one of these gel caps. So sometimes one thing that I've noticed with Zendocrine is if people say, gosh, I've got this acne or I've got this, skin irritation that I just can't get rid of. And when they've tried all these different things like tea tree and everything, they'll use the Zendocrine and they'll put it on topical and they get really, really great results. It really comes down to what is it that your body is trying to expel and get rid of. And, everything, unfortunately, everything that goes in must come out. And so they need those proper cleaning areas or those chimneys in your body that can release this stuff. Sometimes people have a lot of body odor. Sometimes people will have acne. Sometimes people will, urinate or go to the bathroom a lot more. But this is a really, really great support for your body and its functions. Now, here we're going to talk about GX Assist. Now, GX, you guys, is a little capsule. It looks, it's a dark, almost a black color. And when you hold it in your hands, it's really, really tough. And the reason that they have spent a lot of money and science and research on developing this product is because it's designed to go down lower into your GI, where it can open up and really support your organs lower in your body. Now, you'll see here that it has oregano, tea tree, lemon, lemongrass, peppermint, thyme, and acrylic acid. Now, these guys are powerhouse essential oils. They are antifungal, antibacterial, and the purpose of this is not only to get deeper and cleanse, especially if you have, something going on where you've got some irritation, maybe in urinating or something. This is really an excellent product. It goes in and it just cleans everything up and everything out. Sometimes when people have got chronic viruses or things that they've been exposed to that they just can't shake, this is definitely something in addition to On Guard Plus that we recommend. And the recipe or the suggested uses here. Now, one thing I just want to remind you guys of is we don't need to take GX Assist with our Restore, our probiotic, because one of them cancels out the other one. So these would be, and you saw on the cleanse earlier that you use them at different times. Okay, so now you're probably going, okay, I thought this was a class about women and hormones, or just hormones in general, because men, women, and children we're finding need the support of hormones. So you guys, so we need to be able to detox and release and get rid of all the stuff and the chemicals and the exposure that we deal with on a regular basis. And I promise, as you start to eliminate some of those, really heavy sprays or, some of that stuff, you will start to have better mind clarity, more energy, less effects of, your head hurting and things like that. But now we're going to focus on doTERRA has a monthly hormone support system. This is another system that you can purchase all together and save below the wholesale price, or you can purchase these items one at a time. Now, the first one we're going to dive into is phytoestrogen. You guys, this is a product that a lot of people who are having, maybe somebody's are going through different treatments, or they've had, places in their body that has just said, hey, I'm really cranky. You need to remove me. Or just up and down situations. This is plant-based. It is it's a phyto, so phyto is plant. And what it really is meant for is to help to block those xenoestrogens that come into our receptor sites, and then they block the receptor site so our bodies can't function properly. I love this product because it helps to reduce effects from PMS or, different breast tissue issues. It's kind of fun to say. And people have really been able to get, through the change of life with little to no side effects. My personal experience with this was that I remember when I started feeling or experiencing hot flashes and that irritability and just, oh my gosh, I'm on fire inside. And at first I thought I was getting sick. And then pretty soon it's like, oh no, this is really happening. So I started taking one of the phytoestrogen capsules first thing in the morning. And it really, it was just gone. Like within about 1 or 2 days, I remember all of those symptoms were gone. And that lasted for a while. So I took it for about 3 or 4 months. And then I just thought, well, I probably don't even need this anymore. So I stopped taking it. Within about 4 days again, here it comes back again. And this time it was a little bit more with a vengeance. And so I started taking one of the phytoestrogen capsules before I went to bed at night, and then I would take another one when I woke up in the morning. And you guys, I just kind of breezed through the change. people around me might say, oh yeah, no, she was cranky, but I use oils for that too. This has been something that has been a game changer for a lot of people. And you'll see at the bottom, most people use this when they're experiencing menopause, premenopause. If you have estrogen dominance, if you have hormone imbalances, mood swings, night sweats, hot flashes. Now, we do a test at our store called the Zyto Balance, and we've had little girls at 11 years old test for phytoestrogen. And I believe that part of that is because so many things are being added to our food, especially if you eat out a lot. The hormones and things that are being fed in the, cows and chickens and eggs and everything is then coming into us. And then so we're experiencing things at a whole new level and rate. Now, the second product here is bone nutrients. Now, you'll notice it is just packed full of all kinds of things. So if you know anybody who has osteo-related things, or maybe their family has a history of it, maybe they've experienced it, maybe you know somebody who has had bones break very easily. If you have, somebody who's growing pains, this is a really, really great product to help with the integrity in helping it to grow and have more strength and just overall good health. So vitamin C, D2, D3, biotin. It also has calcium and magnesium. It's important, you guys, as you're taking calcium, the more I learn about it, these are products that I take at night before I go to bed. I've also started partnering this with Terrazyme. I love the way that it's helping me get a better night's sleep. I feel more rested, and I just feel like my bones, I'm pretty active, and I'm just super grateful because I want to make sure that my bones are as healthy and happy as they possibly can be. Now, we want to remind you that this is not just for women. It's for men. And even though on the top of the band, it says doTERRA women, they have removed it because they want to make sure that it's for everyone in our household. Now, this one I nicknamed bitch stick. Don't judge me. Because if you know somebody in your household, or maybe it's you, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a coworker that has those incredible mood swings, this is something that will definitely help them. This comes in a 10 ml roller bottle. It is pure essential oil, so there's no dilution. If you're going to use this with a younger, maybe, that 10 or 11-year-old or your son or something, you could take the bottle, open it, and dilute it by 50%, and they'll still get the full benefit for it. Now, this is something, you guys, that is just packed full of essential oils. You can see it's got clary sage, which is really great for balancing estrogen. It helps with hormones associated with PMS. Lavender is a calming essential oil. You got bergamot, which helps to relieve the stress, the feelings of stress. Gosh, we've got so many really great. So clary sage is also used for helping to balance your endocrine system and your hormones. So you'll see that the idea to use this is to prevent or to be able to soften or calm down your body when it is experiencing those global warmings. It helps with menstruation. So I have a friend who used to get horrendous cramps, so bad that for 2 days of the month, she would be curled up in a ball in her bed. So when we first introduced her to doTERRA, I recommended that she wear it like perfume. So she put it on her wrists, on the inside of her wrist. She also would put it, down the sides of her neck, around her belly, so across her lower abdomen, and then around her ankles, because those are all reflex points for women, hormones and your body. And so she was able to use this on a regular basis. So she started wearing it as perfume. Not only did her husband absolutely fall in love with the smell, but she started feeling so much better to where she wasn't experiencing those curl up 2 days of the month things anymore. It was able to completely eliminate that. Now, I also, we make a blend here at the store where we take Claricalm, Balance, uh, Whisper, and Whisper is doTERRA's women's blend, which is also really great at just calming you down. If you break down the oils, I'm going to add that to this presentation, because when you break down the oils, it's all about, calming your nervous system, being able to take a deep breath. And when I put it on, and when each of you guys try it, you'll find that it smells completely different on every single person, but it helps us with regulating and balancing out those hormones so that we can just feel normal. Who doesn't want that, right? If you or somebody experiences any kind of cramping and all that stuff, go ahead and throw it in the chat for us. Tell us if you've been using essential oils for it. Tell us what you've been using and what results you've been getting. Now, also, I've put on here a blend for thyroid support. It's 8 drops of lavender, 5 drops of lemongrass, 5 drops of frankincense, myrrh, and clove. And you'll add that into a 10 ml roller bottle, and then you'll just top it off with fractionated coconut oil. Now, why we use fractionated coconut oil is because it is spun, so there's no fat and there's no scent, which it won't clog your pores. It's really lightweight. It does not go rancid. So I love using that for my carrier oil because of so many benefits. Now, where we would put this thyroid blend is right here on our throats. And you can also find or look up your reflex points on your hands and your feet, and you can also add it there. Now, we've been using this blend for about, I'm going to say 10 years or more. What our customers and what our clients have witnessed and experienced is when they have gone back to their doctor for their checkups, their doctor has been able to take them off of, or at least minimize the amount of medication that they're taking for their thyroid, which is really cool, because our goal, like, we're not claiming that it's fixing anything. What we are saying is, gosh, if you give your body what it needs, it can start taking care and correcting some of the things that it's experiencing and going through. Okay, so I just going to give a real quick shout out to MetaPower. MetaPower is our metabolic blend. There is a essential oil, there are beadlets, there's a gum, and there's also a soft gel. Why people love this, especially for hormones, is when our body is cleansed, like when our body is functioning properly, our hormones are happy. We don't experience any of those, ups and downs, those mood swings. We don't experience the hot flashes. Sugar can be a really big trigger. Alcohol can be a really big trigger. So this blend is really great because it helps to promote a healthy metabolism. It can help with if you have any kind of cravings for like sugars and different things like that. I love it. It has grapefruit, lemon, peppermint, ginger, and cinnamon bark, which are all really great with their detoxing oils also. So this is just one more thing that you could, introduce on a regular basis to help support your body and keep it nice and cleansed. Now, I want to do a real quick shout out to a couple of citrus oils and a couple of products. So anytime, you guys, anytime you're drinking water, which one of the things that we highly recommend when we are on a wellness path is to drink more water, get hydrated. We've got a great new electrolyte drink coming out the 1st of February. So we're excited about that. But just adding a splash of lemon to it, or pick your favorite citrus. Every time you have a glass of water, just remember when you're using these oils internally, the best thing to do is to put them in glass, stainless steel, or ceramic. Never, ever, ever put them in plastic. Like if I'm traveling, I might put a drop of water in a plastic bottle, but I'm shaking it up and I'm drinking the whole thing right then. Because what we don't want is those chemicals to go in from the plastic into the water, which then we're drinking, and then it's harming our bodies. So down here on the right-hand side, this is a really great, just, take good care of your tatas. You can just drop 1 drop of each one of these essential oils, the frankincense, pink pepper, and grapefruit, into the palm of your hands and just go to your lymphatic system. So underneath your arms, you can take it all the way across your breast. And this is something that will really help to nurture and detox and make sure that your breast tissue is getting the best support it possibly can. More and more people, it's like the doctor's offices are always busy, with this type of stuff, and we want to prevent that from happening or support our bodies the best way we can. Okay, here's another quick tip. This is get your hormones back on track. So listed here are the Zendocrine products. Now, you guys, these two, the oil and then the herbal one, I take every single day. I feel like I'm being exposed to a lot of different things because, whether it's walking down the street and having a diesel truck pass by or, eating out or whatever it is, when we have a healthy liver, our hormones are happy. So you can add, you can just put the oil in your hand and you can just rub it on topical, or you can take a couple of the capsules before you go to bed at night, and that will really help to support you. Now, fennel, I want to bring fennel into the party. Fennel is also something that is found in Clary Calm. It is really sweet. It helps with sugar cravings, but it is one of those things that helps to support healthy estrogen levels. So recommended, you could just drop it underneath your tongue. You could add it to some warm water and just sip it. I love making myself a cup of hot water, and I'll add a couple of drops of fennel and 1 drop of lavender. And that's usually what I drink before I go to bed at night. Clary Calm, of course, is one that helps to support all over. So, here's a couple of tips on how and when to use it. And then grapefruit and thyme. Now, this is another one where you can just drop a couple of drops of each one of them into the palm of your hands. You could use a carrier oil if it's hot, or if you've got skin sensitivities. Otherwise, just put them in your hands and then rub it around your ankles, especially if you have progesterone levels that are at a different level than optimal. So on the right-hand side, you guys, we just have a couple of tips. And so I know that not only do I talk quick, but there's a lot to consume and a lot to think about when, we are supporting our hormones, and we want to be happy, healthy people. We don't want to be, the one who's known for mood swings or hot flashes and things. So the best recommendation is to be consistent with your daily routine. Start eliminating some of the things that you don't need to be purchasing that you can replace. And not only are you going to save a ton, because when you start making your own products, like your own bath salts or your unscented lotions, you can add whatever scent you want in. And, when you're doing dryer balls and you're making your own cleaners and things, you're going to save so much money and you're going to be so grateful. And it's so much better for us as women and our hormones and keeping that balanced. You'll want to look into our cleanse. If you're interested and want a PDF for the cleanse step by step, go ahead, and if you're watching this as a replay on Facebook, comment below that says cleanse, please, and I'll get that to you. Otherwise, reach out to the person who invited you here, and we'll make sure you guys get a copy of that PDF so that you can know exactly what to do and when to do it. It is really important. If you've not done the cleanse before, I know you'll be pleasantly surprised with the effects and how much better you feel after you've done it. Drink more water. Really, in order to get things flushed out of our bodies, all that chemicals and all those toxins and all that stuff, we need to be hydrated. And so make sure you're drinking more water. When you're adding a citrus oil to it, you're going to get more bang for your buck and really take it to the next level. Increase your sleep. I know, you guys, there's so many things, right? But if you can really concentrate on getting better sleep, our bodies repair better and will bounce back quicker when we're getting the best amount of deep sleep. And then decrease your stress. One of my favorite things to decrease my stress, you guys, is I have times when my phone is completely put away. It's like a phone detox, right? It's like I turn it off and I turn it upside down and I put it somewhere else. And then I go into other areas of my home and I do different things. I love also to be able to spend more time outside, Get out into the sun, 5 or 10 minutes first thing in the morning. Your body will just soak up all of that goodness. And it's just amazing what the sun will do for your mood and just to make you feel better. When we are increasing, getting a little bit more movement, and I know some of you live where it's super cold or maybe it's super hot and it's uncomfortable to be outside, but just get a little bit more movement every day, and it will really help to support you in feeling the very best you possibly can. Now, I want to tell you guys one of my favorite ways to be able to purchase all of these amazing products that we just talked about. So if you're brand new here or you're watching the replay and you want more information, make sure you reach out to the person who invited you here so that they can help guide you through how to get started. We want everybody we know to be able to get their wholesale membership and know how to go in and order for free. And then when you're ready to order more, you can get below wholesale prices by using our rewards program. doTERRA wants to say thanks to us. And so as you can see on the chart, there's all kinds of really great benefits. I don't know another rewards program that pays you 10% back for every dollar you spend. I don't know one, let alone after 13 months, we get 30% back. And when I talk points back, that is like I get to turn them into dollars and I get free product. So when I place a $100 order, I'm getting 30 points back put into my little account that I can refund or I can redeem for free product every single month. And I just turned in over 400 points for free product. And I love that because, even when I get a rebate check from, I don't know, airline or, food place or grocery store, it never, ever amounts to that much. So also, you can get free shipping back. You get points back for every time you ship, whether it's a, next day air or it's a standard $6.99. We also have a product that we get free. So if you have your order ship on or before the 15th, you're able to get whatever free product that is. And I love getting those free products because in some cases it's stuff that we can't purchase, which I really love. In other cases, it's been products that I may or may not have purchased until I got it and I got to smell it and try it and learn about it. And then I fall in love with it. So this rewards program is the only way that I purchase. And if you have questions about this, make sure that you reach out to the person who invited you here so that you can maximize your benefits and get it at the very best price. So how would you feel about getting your oils paid for? I know for me, that was my first goal. So when I really started looking at them and I started learning more about them and I was going, okay, we need this, we need this, we need this. And I had this constant list of wishing I need all of these things. And then we would, be replacing them. And then, so what ended up happening is I made myself a goal that I wanted to share with just enough people to where I could get my stuff for free. So my family could use the products that we needed without having to worry about the expense. And it's been amazing, you guys. I knew that I knew a few people who wanted to have the lifestyle that I did. And so how did I start? I literally started saying, hey, this is working. And people started coming to me and they say, hey, I heard you had something for, head tension. I heard you had something for, a fast beating heart. I heard you had something for, and I didn't know what I was doing or anything, but I just had a book, you guys. Invest in a book so you know what to do with what you've got. And then I would say, okay, here, you're going to get your own because I am not going to be supplying this for everybody. And it's been the most amazing, wonderful thing because I would show them how to get their own. I would tell them what was working for me, what I was using. And then I also would just go on and say, here, this is how you get it. And it was pretty cool. So, all right. I want to invite you guys to join us tomorrow night. So on Wednesdays, we have table talks, which is a very intimate little class. Sometimes there's 3 people, sometimes there's 10, and sometimes it might just be you and one person where you get to come and ask questions. We usually do a deep dive into 1 or 2 things where you really learn more about how to use it internal, how to use it topical, how to use, each one. So, and then next Tuesday, our class is on happy, healthy baby, kids, and pets. So if you know anybody who has little kids or is a grandma or really is wanting to take and introduce something, a natural lifestyle to them, make sure you set your alarm, put it in your phone so that you can join us for that. If you are interested in joining us in Facebook or getting our newsletter, go ahead and just take a picture or use the QR code on the left-hand side. It'll guide you to everything that you need to connect to us. If you are earning that free recipe book, just go ahead and text class, and then do a little plus hormones to the number 534-429-5392. And then if you also are interested in getting a text reminder 15 minutes before class, and that text also includes the topic and the Zoom line. So all you got to do is touch it and it takes you straight to Zoom. Then text class reminders, one word, to the same number. We're excited that you guys are here. We're excited that you've joined us. We're excited that you're investing in learning what to do with what you have or being exposed to what you can do with what you want to get. So I'm going to go ahead and stop my screen share. Gosh, you guys, hi. There's lots of you guys here tonight. So I want to go ahead and open it up and see if there are any questions or anything that we can help to support you guys with. If you have a question, go ahead and raise your hand or put it in the chat, and we're going to go through that and see how we can best support you guys. Did anybody go through the chat?
Yeah, I tried to watch it.
Are there
Yeah,
things?
so did I.
Just questions on if there was a specific diet to follow during the cleanse. You know, everybody wants the PDF. So are there any particular diet suggestions when doing the cleanse?
So one of the main things is, like always, if you want to get the best result, then you should also be aware of what you're putting into your mouth. And so the cleanse and everything we do and talk about with doTERRA, it's not an excuse. So you can't, continue to have the French fries and the greasy food and the pops and the candy bars and things and do a cleanse and go, oh, I'm going to be super healthy. You need to just make better choices. So as always, I would say just be mindful. Like be mindful of what you're choosing and set a goal. And maybe, the more you watch what you eat, the better the results will be also. Now, with that being said, I know people who have done the cleanse and haven't changed their diet at all and still get really great benefits. So I guess it's going to be more of what you put in is what you're going to get out. I think it's Tammy who put in there, make better choices like the sugars, the carbs. I do know that if you have not been introduced to our fiber or our greens, those are two things I've fallen in love with. I'll take a scoop of the fiber and a scoop of the greens and I'll add it to hot water. And then I'll add a little bit of ginger or lemon and I stir it up. And you guys, it's delicious. It tastes like apple pie in a cup. And it's 100% packed with whole food nutrients. And there's no way I could possibly eat all of those vegetables and fruits and still get the nutrition. So it's one scoop. It's freeze dried, really great. And then when we talk about our fiber, a lot of times people will say, "Oh, I have no problem going to the bathroom. I don't need fiber." You guys, fiber is so much more than just, for elimination. Yeah, it's really great. I know we do introduce that in a class, so make sure you look into it. I want to remind you too that if you are in our Good Vibes Facebook group, take advantage of that little search button, the little magnifying glass, And you can put fiber or put greens in there, and it's not only going to come up with, ingredients and different things like that, but we've done different classes that are specific to those items where you're going to get much more information. So Marlene has mentioned that she thinks that the cleanse changed a little bit. It has, and only because our products have changed in it. So yes, I'll get this everybody who wants the PDF, we'll get it to you. Mandy's going, oh my gosh, what did she do? But we'll get it to you. I'm going to try to get the link where we can share it in here. And Mandy did give it to me. I just didn't get it put up here. So I
Hey,
did say,
Hayley.
yeah.
Bobby put it also in the chat. So
Oh,
if you
Bobby.
guys go and click on
Okay.
it, it will pull it up.
Yeah, so go through the chat, you guys, and you'll see it's towards the end. There's a link there that takes you to doTERRA's 30-day cleanse. Is it updated, Mandy? Do you know?
It looks like it, yes.
Okay. Awesome. Good stuff. Yay. We have such a great support. Okay, you guys, is there any other questions or anything that somebody would like to add?
Hey, Hayley, I'm going to jump on really quick.
Okay.
So Patty had put in the chat, she wished she could get her 19-year-old son started on these products. So I was just going to suggest, I know you talked about cleanse and restore, but I really feel like she would have amazing results if she could at least just start him on the vitamins. It's a foundational thing that for quick testimonial, I have a gal who had been on over-the-counter stool softeners for over 30 years. And within a week of just starting with the lifelong vitality, she started to have regular bowel movements. So I just kind of wanted to address that question with Patty. And, starting little is perfectly fine. He doesn't have to start with the cleanse. I mean, we got to love them right where they're at. So that's all I wanted to say.
One thing that I wanted to share with you guys too is sometimes it's not easy for our kids or our husbands or people that we're around to make it into a habit also. So one of the things that when my son was going through recovery for an accident, I mean, you guys, I took little containers and I divvied up his supplements and I just made it easy. And I set it on the counter next to, his fiber drink. And I made it as easy as I could. And I didn't make it about, did you take it? And I didn't, nag on him for it. But I just said, give it like 5 days, give it 3 days, and let's see how much different you feel. Because, especially with something like constipation, I mean, that is 100% something that your body experiences a lot of discomfort over. I would highly recommend looking into the new Restore, the probiotic. I would look into Terrazyme and I would look into the fiber. I would also increase the amount of water that he's drinking. And if he's not drinking any, so here's what I'm going to also say. We do this minimum target outrageous goal setting. And that is, it's like, okay, if we're not going to the gym at all, we can't say, okay, I want you to go 7 days a week and expect to hold them to it and get upset when they don't. But when we take something and we say, okay, let's start with one product, let's do it, once a day for 3 days and see what our results are. And then as we're getting a result and they're experiencing something different, then maybe we're going to add another one in or just adjust it a little bit to where it's not overwhelming, but they start to see results. Because I think if you guys, you may or may not agree with me, but it's like when we start seeing a little bit of success, we get curious of, gosh, if I just did that on a regular basis, or I did a little bit more, maybe I'll get an even better result. And so unfortunately, I also don't believe that there's I mean, they're willing to take an over the counter or they're willing to go to the doctor and get some kind of prescription. And the truth of it is that they're going to get a better result when we start using natural products. And so really, you know, I don't know. It's a hard conversation, but I would just be gentle, and I would be, maybe somebody else can recommend it to him. Bobby has said that Dr. Riggs recommends taking Restore first thing in the morning. Yep. All right. And then we also have LLV, lifelong vitality. So when you guys see LLV, it is lifelong vitality. Will that help with depression or weight? You guys, one of the main claims for the lifelong vitality is that it helps with mood and feeling clearer in your thoughts. My own personal experience was I was like in this really rough area in my life. And not only were my allergies debilitating, but I was just crying all the time. And, you know, I had no reason to be upset or sad. And I was. And I was desperate in need of stuff. And when I remember when I decided to start the Lifelong Vitality, my husband and I had already had supplements that were made for us. And they weren't, obviously, they weren't working. And so the challenge was, okay, put those aside for 30 days, take the lifelong vitality. At the end of the 30 days, let's check back in and see how you feel. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. You guys, at the end of the 30 days, I was going, okay, now who can I give these other supplements to? Because they obviously weren't working. Even though we spent a lot of money on them, we weren't getting any good results. And then, so we did just dispose of them. And then about 3 months into taking the lifelong vitality. Now, you guys, I want you to know that when I say I'm doing something, I'm all in. I don't miss it. I set reminders. If I do lifelong vitality, I'm very consistent. So 3 months in, I remember going to my husband and I said, you're going to think I'm nuts, but I feel like things are brighter. Like I see things more clearly. My mind is clearer and it seems like the lights are on brighter. And I'll never stop taking lifelong vitality because it's been such a huge impact for us. And since then, you know, my whole family is on them. And I do believe that it not only helps to support our bodies where it is, you know, as far as the weight part, I mean, you know, the mood swings or the depression or the sadness, I know it will help with. As far as the weight, I think that it does help support our bodies because we're at least getting the nutrition that we need as a foundation. But I'd also look into the MetaPower system and the advantage. People are getting great results. Okay. Anything else, you guys? It's kind of weird not seeing anybody's faces except for a couple. Thanks, Teresa. It's good to see you. It's just the two of us. All right, you guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and I just want to say thank you for joining us. We have classes every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You know, listen to the recordings. The recordings will be coming out. We'll get that PDF to you guys, but most of you guys should have been able to get it from Bobby. We appreciate you guys, and we will see you next time. Have a great night, you guys.